I'm going to talk to you now about a lead that we sell on the tvtrade.ie website called the RCA, the Scart lead. Now this lead it's 1.5 meters long, and it's used in conjunction, we'll say, with a satellite receiver and to connect it to a television. Now the traditional way of connecting standard definition receivers to a television is with a Scart lead. So this lead here, the Scart lead does virtually exactly the same job. You can see there's Scart connections on both ends. It consists of 21 pins, and this is the normal way of transferring the information from the satellite receiver to the television. Now sometimes it's preferable to use an RCA lead to Scart, and this may simply be you could have a box where there is no free Scart outputs or possibly no Scart outputs on the box. So certain high definition boxes now are coming with HDMI outputs and RCA only. Okay, so if we look at this box here that I've set up, you can see that we have the Scart lead running from here into the back of the television, so it's Scart on both ends. This is a traditional model, and if we come along and I just end the mute button, we can see that we have both picture and sound. Okay, so it's quite successful from that perspective. Now on this box here, we also have the alternative of using the RCA lead. So what I'm going to do here is demonstrate how to install this. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm simply going to disconnect the Scart lead, which I'm simply going to pull from the back of the box, and you can see here it's just a Scart connection on both ends. So what we do next is I'll come along and I'll just show you the lead itself. It's 21 pin Scart again, and we have an in-out on it, okay? And what we want to do at that point is we want to actually come along and set this output to out, because we're going to be connecting to the television. So what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to go around to the back of the television here. You needn't see this step here, but I'm simply inserting it into the Scart connection. Similar to this, it's identical to the Scart that will be on the back of this. And then we connect the following, okay? So if we come along here and we use the yellow plug here, this actually transfers the picture. So when we connect this in, we'll see we have picture here, but if we try to adjust the volume, we'll see there's no volume on the television, okay? Now, if we look closely to the box here, we'll see that this is marked for audio, and there's an R, which stands for right, and an L for left, okay? So we'll just match up the color codes. So on this here anyway, red is indicated, and then white. So we'll actually insert a black lead into where the white is, and we'll see we have sound there. And if we come along and connect the red lead, it's the far side as well. So if we actually disconnected the black one here now, you can still see we still have volume on it. So because it's left and right, okay? And that's basically it. Now, we just added this lead on because onto the website because increasingly there is a demand for a product such as this. Now, one disadvantage, or one big advantage that Scart would have over this is, in terms of price, is more or less the same, things like that. But with a satellite receiver, what you can do is, if you switch on a box that's been attached to a television with a Scart lead, it will normally actively flick over the television. So if you flick on your Skybox and you have it connected with a Scart lead, when the box comes on, it'll normally flick the television to AV1, and you don't need to pick up the television remote at all, okay? With these particular ones, the RCAs will be passive, so you'll have to make sure that, as in this case here, that the output is corresponding to this. Slight disadvantage, but really only a minor one, as long as people understand why the television hasn't flicked over. But anyway, that's the RCA to Scart lead, a good quality product that's been added to the tvtrade.ie website.